Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever stopped to think that just 10 minutes, a tiny slice of your day, could completely transform your life? 10 minutes. Out there, that's less time than it takes to scroll through your phone, argue with a stranger online, or complain about what's not working. But in those same 10 minutes, if you choose differently, if you focus intentionally, you can alter your direction, your mindset, and your destiny. Life doesn't change in a day. It changes in moments of decision. And today, I want to show you how 10 minutes of purpose each day can create a lifetime of power. Let me start with a truth that may surprise you. If you woke up this morning, you already have more blessings than many people will ever experience in their lifetime. You see, we live in a world that's constantly shouting, "You need more, do more, get more." But gratitude whispers something different. It says that you already have enough to begin. Gratitude doesn't mean pretending life is perfect. Out there, it means looking beyond what's missing and seeing what's present. It's about training your heart to focus on what's working rather than what's broken. And here's the key. You don't need an hour to change your attitude. You only need 10 minutes. The 10-minute practice that rewires your mind every morning before you reach for your phone, before you check your messages. Take 10 quiet minutes for gratitude. You can write in a journal or simply sit in silence and think of 3 things you're thankful for. Not big, they're dramatic things, but the small, ordinary blessings we often overlook. The warmth of your bed, the sound of your child laughing in the next room. The fact that your heart is still beating and your lungs are still working. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. And that shift my friend, changes your entire day and ultimately your entire life. Neuroscientists have proven that consistent gratitude literally rewires your brain. Out there, it activates the parts of the brain responsible for happiness and reduces stress hormones. Harvard Medical School published research showing that people who practice gratitude daily report higher levels of optimism, better relationships, and improved health. So when you take those 10 minutes each morning, you're not just feeling good, you're actually retraining your brain to see possibilities instead of problems. The story of 2 perspectives. Let me share a story. 2 men looked out of prison bars. One saw mud, the other saw stars. Same prison, same walls, same circumstances, but one chose gratitude and found hope. The other chose bitterness and lost it. You and I are looking through those same bars every day. We can stare at what's missing. The job we don't have, the money we haven't earned, the mistakes we've made, or we can lift our eyes and see the stars of possibility. Gratitude doesn't change your surroundings overnight, but it changes you. And that changes how you respond to your surroundings. Why gratitude is the foundation of all success. Every truly successful person I've ever met, I mean the ones who are not just wealthy, but joyful, has one habit in common: gratitude. They never forget where they came from, who helped them, and what they've already been given. Gratitude keeps your heart humble, and humility keeps you open to learning, growing, and receiving more. Because here's the paradox. The moment you start appreciating what you have, life gives you more to appreciate. But when you complain about what's missing, life gives you more to complain about. It's not magic, it's mindset. Your mind always finds what it's focused on. If you focus on scarcity, you'll see lack everywhere. If you focus on abundance, you'll see opportunity everywhere. Turning ordinary moments into miracles. Gratitude isn't something that happens once in a while. It's something you live. Try this experiment. Tomorrow morning, when you pour your first cup of coffee, instead of rushing through the routine, pause and think, someone planted these beans. Someone harvested them. Someone shipped them, roasted them, and packed them just so I could enjoy this one cup. Suddenly, that coffee becomes more than a drink. It becomes a reminder that life is full of invisible blessings, all working together to serve you. You see, gratitude transforms the ordinary into extraordinary. The power of perspective. Maybe you're going through a hard time right now. Maybe you've lost a job, a dream, or someone you love. You might be thinking, how can I be grateful when everything feels broken? That's exactly when gratitude matters most. Gratitude doesn't ignore pain. It gives pain a purpose. It says, this storm is shaping me. This challenge is teaching me. This valley is preparing me for a higher mountain. Even in your darkest days, there's still light. You just have to look for it. I once met a woman who had lost everything in a house fire, everything. Yet she said something I'll never forget. I lost my home, but not my hope. I lost my furniture, but not my family. I lost my things, but not my faith. That's gratitude in action. It's not denial, it's power. The power to stand tall even when life tries to knock you down. Gratitude in relationships. Gratitude also has the power to heal relationships. Out there, when was the last time you looked someone you love in the eye and said, I appreciate you? We get so busy correcting people that we forget to connect with them. We criticize easily but compliment rarely. The 10 minutes of gratitude toward the people around you, your partner, parents, co-workers, friends, can restore warmth, trust, and love faster than months of arguments. People don't remember every word you say, but they'll never forget how you made them feel appreciated there. The ripple effect, here's the beautiful part gratitude multiplies. When you express it, you don't just change your life, you start changing the lives around you. Grateful people radiate light. They make others feel seen, valued, and hopeful. It's like tossing a pebble in a pond. One act of gratitude sends ripples across the whole lake. Imagine if every person you met today felt appreciated because of your words. What kind of world would we live in? Your daily gratitude challenge. Let's make this practical. Starting tomorrow, take 10 minutes each morning for this simple exercise. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Feel it. Don't just think it. Let gratitude warm your heart. Express it. Text, call, or tell someone you appreciate them. Repeat it. Do it daily for 30 days. If you stay consistent, something miraculous happens. You'll start seeing blessings you used to miss. You'll complain less and celebrate more. You'll attract people, opportunities, and peace like never before. Closing reminder. So remember this, 10 minutes of gratitude can change your entire life. When you wake up tomorrow, don't start with stress. Start with thanks. Don't count your problems. Count your blessings. Don't focus on what you've lost. Focus on what remains, because what you focus on grows. And if you start every day with a grateful heart, I promise you, you'll end every day with a smile. Gratitude is the gateway to joy, the magnet for miracles, and the foundation of a truly abundant life. 10 minutes is all it takes. But those 10 minutes, they could change everything. Let me tell you something powerful. You can't go where you can't see. You can't achieve what you can't imagine. You can't build what you haven't first envisioned. Vision is the seed of every dream, every invention. Every transformation that has ever happened. Before the airplane flew, it lived in the imagination of 2 brothers who looked up at the sky and said, what if? Before electricity lit up the world, it sparked in the vision of a man named Edison who refused to give up after 1,000 failures. Vision isn't magic, it's direction. And you can start building yours in just 10 minutes a day. The power of seeing beyond the now. Most people live their lives reacting to what's in front of them. Bills, deadlines, routines, and noise. They wake up, rush through the day, go to bed, and call that living. But people of vision, they see beyond the now. They don't just see life as it is. They see life as it could be. And that, my friend, is the difference between existence and excellence. You may not have the life you want yet. You may not have the money, the support, or the opportunity but if you can see it in your mind, if you can paint it in vivid color, you've already started walking toward it. Your eyes show you what is. Your vision shows you what can be. A 10-minute practice that can rewrite your future. Here's the challenge. Every morning, right after your 10 minutes of gratitude, spend the next 10 minutes in vision. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and imagine in complete detail the life you want to live 1 year from now. What does your morning look like? Where are you living? Who are you spending your time with? What kind of work fills your day? How do you feel as you live that life? Feel it so strongly that it becomes real in your imagination. Because the brain doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. It starts believing it's possible. There. That's not wishful thinking. That's neuroscience. Psychologists call it mental rehearsal. Athletes use it. Entrepreneurs use it. Their top performers in every field use it. They visualize success before it happens, and their results follow their vision. There. If you spend 10 minutes a day seeing where you're going, you'll stop wandering in circles. The story of a dreamer. Let me share a story. There was a young man who wanted to build a theme park, a place where families could laugh, dream, and believe in magic again. But when he shared his vision out there, people laughed at him. They said it was too expensive, too unrealistic, too impossible. That man was Walt Disney. When Disneyland finally opened, reporters asked him, "How does it feel to see your dream come true?" A friend of his said quietly, "You know, Walt didn't live to see this opening." The reporter replied, "That's sad." But the friend smiled and said, "He saw it first. That's why it exists. That's vision. You must see it long before the world does. Without vision, life becomes routine. The book of Proverbs says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Without vision, you lose energy. Without vision, you lose purpose. Without vision, you lose your fires. You start living life on autopilot, doing the same things, expecting different results, wondering why every day feels like yesterday. But with vision, everything changes. Your steps have direction. Your decisions have meaning. There, your sacrifices make sense. When you see a picture of where you're going, even the pain starts to serve a purpose. There, turn your vision into a blueprint. Dreaming is wonderful, but dreaming alone is not enough. You need to write it down, because what you don't define, you can't design. Take your 10 minutes of vision and write in a notebook titled, My Future. Be specific. Don't just say, I want to be successful. Ask, what does success look like for me? What time do you wake up? How do you earn your income? How do you serve others? What do you do that makes you come alive? Be honest. Be bold. You're not writing for others. You're writing for your destiny. That notebook will become your personal GPS. When life gets confusing, you'll open those pages and remember why you started. There, vision brings hope. One of the saddest things I've seen is a person who stopped dreaming. They used to be full of ideas. They're full of energy, but disappointment drained their vision. They tried once, failed, and decided life was safer in the comfort zone. But let me tell you, there, comfort zones are beautiful prisons. Nothing grows there except regret. Vision is what gives you the courage to try again. It tells you, you're not done yet. Remember the story of Colonel Sanders. He was rejected over 1,000 times before someone finally believed in his chicken recipe. He was in his 60s when his vision took off. That's the power of having a clear picture of what you want. It pulls you forward when everything else tells you to quit. Feed your vision daily. Your vision is like a fire. If you don't feed it, it dies. So every day, give it 10 minutes. Look at your goals. Speak them aloud. See them as if they've already happened. And here's the secret. Combine your vision with gratitude. Be thankful for where you are while seeing where you're going. Gratitude keeps you grounded. Vision keeps you growing. Together, they create unstoppable momentum. What happens when you commit to vision after 30 days of practicing this 10-minute habit? There, you'll start to notice changes. You'll feel more motivated, even without outside inspiration. There, you'll start attracting people and opportunities aligned with your goals. You'll feel calmer, clearer, more in control of your direction. There, because vision gives your mind a destination, and your mind starts finding ways to get there. That's why successful people always say, there, I saw it before it happened. They weren't lucky, they were intentional. A vision exercise for you right now. I want you to close your eyes and imagine the best version of your life. Not the realistic one, the ideal one. See it clearly. Now ask yourself, what kind of person do I need to become to live that life? That's your next step. Because vision isn't about wishing, it's about becoming. It's not about waiting, it's about walking. And the more vividly you see your future, the faster it moves toward you. Closing reminder, so remember this, that 10 minutes of vision can change the direction of your entire life. If you can see it, you can pursue it. If you can believe it, you can build it. There, and if you give your vision just 10 minutes a day, you'll begin to live with purpose, clarity, and unstoppable faith. Don't let the noise of the world blind you to the picture inside your heart, because every masterpiece begins as a mental image, and your life is your masterpiece in progress. So tomorrow morning, after you finish your 10 minutes of gratitude, take 10 minutes to close your eyes and see the life you were meant to live. Because the clearer your vision, the stronger your decisions. And that's how 10 minutes a day can change your destiny forever. Someone once said, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always got. That's true for almost everything in life, except learning. Because the moment you decide to learn something new, you stop being the same person you were yesterday. Learning is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the key that unlocks every door you've been staring at. And the beautiful part, out there, you don't need to spend hours in a classroom or earn another degree. You only need 10 focused minutes a day. Knowledge is the new currency. We live in a world where everything changes. Technology, trends, markets, even how people think. But there's one thing that will always keep you ahead, the ability to keep learning. Knowledge today is like currency. The more you have the more options you own. And if you spend 10 minutes each day investing in your mind, you'll be amazed at the returns it gives you. 10 minutes of reading, 10 minutes of listening to a podcast, 10 minutes of studying something that stretches your thinking. It might not look like much, but over a year, that's more than 60 hours of personal growth. Imagine what 60 hours of focused learning could do for your career, your finances, your relationships, or your confidence. You could master a new skill. You could learn how to start that business. You could change your mindset completely. 10 minutes a day won't make you a genius overnight, but it will make you unstoppable over time. The compound effect of daily learning. Let me tell you a story. A young salesman once complained to his mentor, "I'm not getting ahead. Everyone around me seems smarter." The mentor smiled and said, "Read something useful for 10 minutes a day. In a year, you'll be smarter than 90% of people in your field." The young man doubted it, but he tried. 10 minutes on business books, sales psychology, communication, every single day. Years later, he was earning more than anyone in his office. Why? Because while others scrolled social media, he fed his mind. He built an edge that no one could take away. That's the magic of consistency. 10 minutes a day might not seem powerful, but done daily, it compounds like interest in a bank. Small deposits of learning become massive results over time. Feed your mind what you want to grow. Here's the truth. Your mind is like soil. Whatever seeds you plant will grow. If you feed it negativity, doubt, and gossip, that's what will grow. But if you feed it wisdom, out the knowledge and inspiration, that's what will grow instead. So every day, ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind? You don't have to consume everything. Just be intentional. Read books that stretch your vision. Watch videos that teach. They're not just entertain. Listen to people who challenge you to become better. Remember, not everything that catches your attention deserves your attention. You don't need to know everything, just the right things. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is, I'll start learning when I have more time. My friend, you'll never find time. You have to make it. 10 minutes is enough to start a new habit that rewires your life. And you don't need to know everything. You just need to know the right things, the ones that move you closer to your goals. If you're building a business, learn about marketing and money. If you're trying to improve your health, study nutrition and movement. If you want better relationships, learn communication and emotional intelligence. Whatever you wanted to grow in life, learn about it, because you can't rise higher than your level of understanding. The story of the taxi driver. Let me share a true story. In New York City, a man once stepped into a taxi and noticed the driver listening to a motivational audio program. Curious, he asked, "You like this kind of stuff?" The driver smiled and said, "Oh yes, I listen every day. I'm studying real estate." A few years later, that same man returned to New York and called for a taxi again. And guess who showed up? The same driver, except now he wasn't driving a taxi. There, he owned 5 properties. He said, I spent years driving and learning. Those 10 minutes between rides built my new life. That's the power of daily learning. You can't predict when opportunity will knock, but when it does, learning ensures you're ready to open the door. Replace entertainment with education. Let's be honest, most people don't lack time, they lack focus. They can spend 2 hours scrolling through videos, but claim they don't have 10 minutes to read. They can binge watch a show for 5 hours, but can't invest 10 minutes in a book that could change their thinking. Here's the truth. Every minute you spend consuming entertainment could also be spent consuming education that empowers you. That doesn't mean you can't relax. It means you choose growth over mindless distraction. You don't have to quit your habits. Just upgrade them. Turn your car into a classroom. Turn your phone into a library. Turn your downtime into your development time. Out there, learning builds confidence. Have you ever noticed how confident you feel when you understand something deeply? Knowledge doesn't just inform you, it empowers you. When you learn, you grow your confidence muscle. You stop saying, I can't do that, and start saying, I learn how. That shift in mindset changes everything. Because the truth is, the people who win in life aren't the ones who know it all. They're the ones who keep learning it all. Every expert you admire was once a beginner who chose to keep learning. 10 minutes, that build lifelong momentum. So here's your challenge for this week. Pick one area of your life you want to grow in and dedicate 10 minutes a day to it. Read 10 pages of a book. Watch one educational video. Listen to one empowering podcast episode. Take one short online lesson. That's it, just 10 minutes. Do it for 30 days. Watch how your mind sharpens, that your confidence rises, and your goals start feeling possible again. Learning builds momentum, and momentum builds miracles. Closing reminder, so remember this, 10 minutes of learning every day can change the entire course of your life, because every skill you learn makes you more valuable. Every insight you gain makes you wiser. Every book you open opens another door of opportunity. Don't wait for the perfect time to start learning. Start now with what you have, where you are. The future belongs to those who are curious enough to keep growing. So take 10 minutes today and feed your mind with something that feeds your future. Because the mind, once stretched by new knowledge, never goes back to its old size again. 10 minutes a day, that's all it takes to build a brand new you. Let me ask you a question. What good is a dream if you don't have the energy to chase it? Out there, you can have all the goals, plans, and intentions in the world, but if your body is running on empty, your spirit won't soar. Because your body is not just a machine that carries your brain around. It's the engine of your energy, the vessel of your purpose and the foundation of every single thing you do. And here's the truth. You don't need hours in the gym to change your body. You just need 10 minutes a day to start. Your body is a gift. Treat it like one. We often treat our cars better than we treat our bodies. We change the oil, check the tires. Fill the gas. But when it comes to our own health, we wait until something breaks down before we act. Your body doesn't need punishment. It needs partnership. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be active. Movement is not just about muscles and mirrors. It's about energy, confidence, and longevity. It's about being able to play with your kids without gasping for breath. It's about waking up with vitality instead of dragging through the day. It's about honoring the life you've been given by keeping it strong enough to fulfill your purpose. 10 minutes that change everything. When you move your body, even for just 10 minutes, amazing things happen inside you. Your heart pumps fresh oxygen through your bloodstream. Your brain releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that fight stress and boost happiness. Your muscles wake up, your energy rises. Your confidence expands. That's not just motivational talk. That's biology. A study by the Mayo Clinic found that just 10 minutes of brisk walking can instantly improve your mood and focus. Another study by the University of Georgia discovered that 10 minutes of light exercise can increase energy levels by 20% and reduce fatigue by 65%. Think about that. 10 minutes of movement gives you more power than a cup of coffee ever could. Motion creates emotion. Ever notice how hard it is to feel sad when you're dancing, or how your mood lifts after a walk outside? Out there. That's because motion creates emotion. The way you move affects the way you feel. When you move with purpose, you signal your brain, I'm alive, I'm capable, I'm in charge. But when you stay still too long, your energy stagnates and your motivation starts to fade. You don't need to be an athlete. You don't need fancy equipment. You just need to move. Walk, stretch, dance, do push-ups, jump rope, breathe deeply, lift your body weight. Anything that gets the blood flowing, because your energy is the spark that ignites your dreams. That the story of the overworked dreamer. I once met a man who worked long hours building his dream business. He was driven, passionate, but exhausted. He told me, I don't have time to exercise. I'm too busy chasing success. I looked at him and said, if you lose your health, who's going to enjoy the success you're chasing? A few months later, he had a health scare. The doctor told him, you need to move or your body will make you stop. That was his wake-up call. He started walking 10 minutes every morning. Then 10 became 20. Within a year, he lost 40 pounds, gained his confidence back, and said, I feel like I got my life back. He didn't change his life overnight. He changed it 10 minutes at a time. And so can you. 10 minutes as a daily ritual. Make movement a non-negotiable ritual, not something you try to fit in, but something you build your day around. Here's how you can start simple. Morning before breakfast, go for a brisk walk or stretch while listening to uplifting music. Midday, when your energy drops, take a 10-minute recharge break, step outside, move your body, breathe deeply. Evening before bed, do light stretching to release tension and quiet your mind. These aren't workouts, they're moments of renewal. And if you do this daily, you'll notice more clarity, more joy, and more stamina to pursue your goals. Because success doesn't belong to the smartest or luckiest. It belongs to those who have the energy to keep going when others quit. There, you're one habit away from a new life. Don't underestimate the power of small daily action. 10 minutes of movement might seem small, but small hinges swing big doors. 10 minutes a day equals over 60 hours a year of self-care. 60 hours of oxygen, energy, and strength that your future self will thank you for. You don't need to run a marathon. Just move enough to remind your body that you're alive and powerful. You can start today, right now. Stand up, stretch. Out there, roll your shoulders, take a deep breath. You've already begun. Movement heals more than the body. Movement doesn't just heal your body, it heals your mind. When you move, you shake off worry. You reset your thoughts. You return to the present moment. That's why some of the most creative ideas come while walking, running, or exercising. Out there, Einstein used to walk for hours when he was stuck on a problem. Steve Jobs held walking meetings. They understood something profound. When the body moves, the mind flows. You don't have to think your way out of stress. Sometimes you just need to move your way through it. There, your body is the vehicle of your purpose. Let's get honest for a second. You have a purpose. You have dreams. You have people who depend on you. But none of that matters if you don't take care of the vessel that carries it all, your body. When you neglect your health, you're not just hurting yourself, you're limiting your ability to serve, to love, and to live fully. Taking care of your body is not selfish. It's sacred, because when you move better, you think better, work better, and love better. There, your body is the foundation upon which your destiny stands, and 10 minutes a day is the maintenance that keeps it strong. Closing reminder, so remember this. 10 minutes of movement every day can transform not just your body, but your entire life. It's not about losing weight, it's about gaining life. Out there, it's not about how you look, it's about how you feel. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. 10 minutes a day to move your body. Breathe deeply and remind yourself that you are capable, strong, and alive, because when you move your body, your energy rises. When your energy rises, your confidence grows. And when your confidence grows, there's nothing you can't do. So tomorrow morning, before the day races ahead, give yourself the gift of movement. 10 minutes to wake your body. 10 minutes to ignite your spirit, 10 minutes to fuel your dreams, because a moving body creates a moving life. And that, my friend, there might just be the 10 minutes that changes everything. Let me start with a question. When was the last time you truly stopped? Not because you were tired, not because you were forced to, but because you chose to pause and reflect. We live in a world that celebrates speed. Everyone's in a rush, rushing to work, rushing through meals, rushing through life. But let me tell you something I've learned. Motion without reflection leads to exhaustion, not progress. You can climb the ladder of success so fast only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall. That's why 10 minutes of reflection each day can be one of the most powerful habits you'll ever build. Because reflection is how you turn experience into wisdom. Experience alone doesn't teach. Reflection does. Experience is valuable, but it doesn't automatically make you wiser. You can have 10 years of experience or 1 year repeated 10 times. The difference is reflection. Reflection turns life from random events into meaningful lessons. It's the pause between the notes that creates the music. Out there, every day teaches you something. But if you don't take time to think about what it taught you, you'll miss the message. 10 minutes of reflection helps you harvest the lessons life is giving you for free. The power of looking back to move forward when you take 10 minutes each evening to sit quietly, journal, or simply think. Ask yourself these questions. What did I learn today? What did I do well? What could I have done better? Who did I help and who helped me? What am I grateful for right now? Those simple questions can reveal more about your growth than a whole week of running around busy. Reflection isn't about regret. It's about refinement. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about building yourself up. When you look back with honesty, you move forward with clarity. The story of the mountain climber. A man once decided to climb a tall mountain. He trained for months, gathered the best gear, and started his ascent. Every few hours he'd stop, look down and say, I've come so far. He'd look up and say, but I still have a long way to go. Then he'd take a deep breath and keep climbing. Another climber, racing up the same mountain, refused to stop. He said, I don't need brakes, I just need speed. Halfway up, he collapsed, exhausted, disoriented, and unsure where he was. You see, out there, one man climbed with reflection, the other climbed with reaction. One paused, realigned, the other pressed forward blindly. Out there, the one who paused made it to the top, because reflection isn't slowing down, it's recharging your direction. Reflection reconnects you with purpose. Sometimes we get so busy doing that we forget why we're doing. We chase goals, achievements, and deadlines, and somewhere along the way we lose touch with the purpose behind them. Reflection brings you back home to your why. It reminds you that success without meaning is just movement, not fulfillment. 10 minutes at the end of your day to reconnect with your purpose can reignite your passion, refocus your energy, and restore your peace. Because when your purpose is clear, your path becomes simple. How reflection builds strength? Not weakness. Some people avoid reflection because they're afraid of what they might find. They don't want to face mistakes, failures, or regrets. But reflection isn't about judgment. It's about understanding. It's not saying, I failed. It's saying, I learned. Strong people don't run from their past. They learn from it. They mine it for gold. Every failure has a lesson. Every mistake has a message. Every challenge has a chapter worth reading. Of their reflection is how you read the book of your own life and find the wisdom you've been overlooking. The science of stillness. Here's what's fascinating. Studies show that our brains process information best when we're calm and still. Neuroscientists call it the default mode network, the part of the brain that lights up when we're not actively focused on external tasks. That's when creativity happens. That's when solutions appear. That's when your mind connects dots that you didn't even know were related. Ever had a brilliant idea in the shower or while walking alone? That's reflection in disguise. When you stop rushing and start listening, your inner wisdom begins to speak. 10 minutes that clear the mental clutter your mind collects noise all day. Worries, frustrations, decisions, There, distractions. If you don't clear that clutter, it piles up until your peace disappears. There, 10 minutes of reflection each night is like cleaning your mental desk. You file away what matters, toss out what doesn't. There, and make space for fresh ideas tomorrow. Try this before bed. Turn off your screen. Sit somewhere quiet. Breathe deeply. Ask yourself there, what mattered most today? Then write down one lesson you want to carry forward. It might not sound dramatic, but over time, those daily lessons will form a book, the book of your growth. The story of the young executive. A young executive once told his mentor, I work 12 hours a day, but I feel like I'm not moving forward. The mentor smiled and asked, do you spend any time reflecting? The young man said, no, I'm too busy. The mentor replied, then you're mistaking activity for achievement. He gave him this advice. Spend 10 minutes every evening asking yourself 3 questions. What did I learn? What did I love? What will I improve? Months later, out there, that same young man said those 10 minutes changed everything. He became more focused, more intentional, and far more fulfilled. Because when you reflect daily, you stop living by default and start living by design. Reflection turns pain into purpose. Let's be honest, life isn't always easy. We face heartbreak, loss, disappointment, and failure. But here's what reflection does. It turns pain into purpose. When you take time to reflect on your struggles, you begin to see the strength they gave you. You realize the doors that closed were protecting you from things you didn't need. Out there, you start to see your scars not as signs of defeat, but as evidence that you survived. Reflection helps you find meaning in what once felt meaningless. And that meaning gives you power to rise again, stronger, wiser, and more grateful. Closing reminder, so remember this. 10 minutes of reflection can turn your day into a teacher, your mistakes into mentors, and your pain into purpose. Reflection doesn't slow your progress, it multiplies it. It doesn't take time. It gives back time by saving you from repeating the same mistakes.